Hi there, it's Nick Dutch back on the camera again one more time. Hi there, how the heck's it going? I was asked for my opinion on the all-seeing eye imagery. Now, firstly, just relax, chill out, okay? If you spend a lot of your time on the internet, then you can't help but at some point coming across some conspiracy theory rubbish which suggests that the world is about to be taken over by some kind of evil cult. The all-seeing eye, and especially the Illuminati pyramid that you see like on the dollar currency and the rest of it, it's nowhere near as scary as you might possibly think. Just the image of the all-seeing eye essentially just means God. It just means the higher power of one form or another that some people would want to label or somehow explain as being something that watches over you either in a positive way or in a maybe negative way. It doesn't matter. It depends upon what your attitude towards a higher power concept is. And some people say that the eye imagery actually goes back to the ancient Egyptians and it's something to do with Horus or Ra, but does it basically really matter? It's just a rather beautiful symbol. I mean, I think it's the Greeks who used the all-seeing eye imagery as a form of talisman to ward off evil, or to say they've got the protection of God amongst them. And also in Europe, the all-seeing eye image has actually been used to suggest protection from some form of evil intent against an individual or indeed against an animal. Now, I don't know whether you can see this or not, but this is actually an antique horse brass. So people would display this on the forehead of the horse when it's going out on parade. It's made out of brass. As you can see, it's very badly finished off around the edge because essentially this was handmade and handcrafted and just poured into a mold. Essentially, that's why the back looks quite so roughly hewn. There's obviously been some manual work done to make it look nice around the edges. But why would a thistle be used as a horse brass? Well, quite simply because it's the image of the all-seeing eye. You've got your pupil there, and you got your iris around the outside. So this was a representation not only of protection, because a thistle plant protects itself with its spiky bits, basically, but also it can be placed into this symbol, or you might call it a sigil if you're a chaos magician, of the horse brass to suggest protection through spines and sharp bits, as well as the protection of some kind of higher power entities looking after the individual or the horse who happens to be in the possession of or wearing the thistle horse brass. So the all-seeing eye imagery is used in a wide variety of different ways by a wide variety of different religious people and practitioners. It's basically nothing to be afraid of. And I think it's just something that we should see as being part of our kind of like cute, quaint traditions that we as humans have. It's something that people believe in or choose to believe in for their own benefit. And here we have a Southern European equivalent made out of glass. It's blue glass. You can see the light through it if you get it at the right angle. It's quite pretty. It's got the eye emblem there. And again, it goes back to the idea of the all-seeing eyes, protection against the evil eye curse. It's supposed to be there to not only be pretty, but also to remind you of a higher power concept working in your area, so to speak, looking after you, looking down upon you, guarding you. It's a symbol of protection, therefore. Okay, so partially superstitious, partially religious, definitely very beautiful, and again, nothing to be really concerned about. But when we come to all the talk about the Illuminati, you can't help but see images of the pyramid with the capstone above it. So what on earth does that mean? Well, it was connected to the original Illuminati order, and it's also connected to, funnily enough, atheism. It's connected to the ideas of science and progress, with the bottom of the pyramid talking about what has been achieved so far by humanity, and the capstone on top speaking about the undiscovered potential or the future potential of humanity. Some people would also see the capstone as being representative of reason and wisdom, basically controlling and having an influence upon the lower levels of society, trying to bring the light of reason into a rather chaotic environment. So it's speaking about enlightenment, it's speaking about the application of intelligence and the bringing of other forms of wisdom. It's also quite an important deistic symbol, alright? It's not Freemasonry or anything like that, but just deism. Because some people see the capstone itself as being representative, again, of a higher power concept looking down upon other people, but it's also a reference to this concept of reason, and reason coming into essentially a world which is otherwise dominated by fear and superstition. So there are many different meanings there. It's not a mention of there being some kind of great conspiracy to destroy humanity. The pyramid symbol isn't there to say that it's the descendants of the ancient Egyptians who are trying to control the world, as some rather peculiar pundits have tried to suggest. It's just talking about reason and the fact that you personally have got more to achieve in your life, society itself has got more to achieve, and there can be better things for more people later on down the line with scientific and technological progress as well. And it's also a suggestion that maybe, having some form of spirituality could actually be good for you or a positive thing and not necessarily a negative thing. When you're watching, let's say, a modern film, and in the modern film it's got, let's say, the scary pyramid of Illuminati with the all-seeing eye imagery inside it, don't be worried that this is like the Illuminati trying to communicate with each other and trying to bring, scary symbolism into the world to try and control everybody under some kind of mind control religion or something stupid like that. Just see it as being another symbol talking about spirituality, talking about wisdom, talking about reason, talking about the progression of humanity, and also hope for the future, and hope that we can all, as a society, start to generate something which is more positive for everybody in the world. Because these are not evil symbols, these are not anti-Christian symbols. I mean, with all the paranoia against Freemasonry, that's rather bizarre. I mean, some of it seems to be coming from the Christian right, and they don't seem to realize that the original Freemasons were Christians, and Freemasonry was a Christian organization, but they then allow people of other faiths in, so long as the people who came in also believed in a supreme being or a higher power concept. WTF with all the fear and paranoia stuff, throw it out the window. It's not actually all that scary. Okay? Peace.